tell you, babe, something in the way you make me feel. Hey, 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 what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Junior's World of Soul. I am back with a new video to bless y'all with R&B the right way, the authentic way. Oh my God, it's been a minute since I recorded this video, but I'm back, y'all. I am back. But yo, as you can see, I came in with Stephanie Mills, something in the way you make me feel. Listen, y'all, listen. We're getting this Verzuz that a lot of people have been asking about with Stephanie Mills and Chaka coming this Thursday at 8 p.m. on Verzuz, wherever you watch it on Instagram and all that. It's going to be a dope, because let me tell you something. The shade and all that is going to be epic. I'm here for it because when it comes to the real in this industry, Stephanie Mills and Chaka are real in this industry. So I can't wait to get some of the stories and all this. And of course, we're going to hear them beautiful voices that they're going to bless us with. You know what I mean? So catch it this Thursday, 8 p.m. You know what I mean? And get ready. Something in the way you make me feel. I got you, Chaka. I'm going to end the video with that. I'm going to end the video with her. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to do that. But, yo. Y'all see what the title is. Y'all know what it is. I'm back with a current R&B bangers. Now, if you're new to Junior's World of Soul, current R&B bangers is all about showing mainstream and R&B is alive and well. It's getting a little tired of people with these same narratives and doing these tweets and all that about R&B is dead and ain't doing a damn thing about it. So for me, I've been seeing that it was like, you know, mainstream was really kind of disrespecting R&B way before everybody started jumping on this shit that they're on. Just saying. And I was like, you know what? Instead of talking about it and tweeting about it and all that, let me try to do something for myself. So I said, you know what? I'm going to create a show that I do weekly and just show y'all, look, the R&B is here. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't never going nowhere. It's just the narrative that mainstream is trying to give, and we going to break that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So what I do is I do from 3 to 5 joints every week, just to show y'all, yo, you got people out here that's still doing that R&B that you can feel, that you can love, and all that good stuff. So, yo, I got 5 joints for y'all this week, so let's just get this started, because, you know what I mean, I don't want to keep y'all here too long. I know y'all got things to do, people to see, and places to go. So, we're going to start it, and we're going to start it off with this. Here we go. I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open. Leave the door open, girl. I'ma leave the door open. All right. Well, Silk Sonic, which Leave the Door Open is honestly my favorite R&B record of this year. When it came out in March, it just hit you in the chest. And then to find out that Anderson and Bruno was going to do an album with each other, it was so exciting. And I was like, I know we're going to get this album by the summertime. Leave the Door Open was through the roof, and everybody was loving it. They got all age categories, and then they just got people back to talking about how R&B can still sell, and really, it was just a beautiful moment. So I was just waiting for these guys to come back and be like, yo, we got this album coming, because they said when they first did interviews that the album is done and all this kind of stuff. So I was like, y'all, we getting this album by the summer. They're going to have the summer on lock. Then nothing. They came with the joint Skate, and it was like, okay, you know what I mean? Okay, it's cool, you know what I mean? It wasn't like Leave the Door Open, but it fit what they were doing. So it was like, okay, it is what it is. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Now it's kind of growing on me, because it was like you had to get used to it, because it was like that was the only thing that we had. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my brother Sin. He was like, I'm not listening to Leave the Door Open until we get this album. You know what I'm saying? Because we both thought we was going to get a summer album, but we didn't get that. So, they was going on, they went on the BET Awards and was like, yo, we giving you an album date, and this was in June, and everybody was like, I was like, yo, we might get it in July. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that it's gonna be a summer type of record, especially after Skate, and nothing. And we hear nothing. And it's still going. And people are like hitting them like, what is going on? And finally we got the date that it was coming out November the 12th. So by that time, y'all, I was kind of over it. I was like, you know what? Whatever. I felt like they missed a moment. I was over it. Like, people were still like talking about leave the door open. I was like, I still love the song. Like, as y'all can see, I still feel it. It still hits you in the gut. That's what music is supposed to do. But I was kind of over it. I was like, here we go. Like, whatever. So anytime anybody would ask me like, yo, you ready for this Silk Sonic album? I was like, whatever. You know what I mean? And that was just my opinion. You know what I mean? I was kind of over it, but I was like, all right, whatever. So finally, they put out the single, Smoking Out the Window. I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Give it kind of that what is it? It's like a funny thing, but it worked. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, cool. So we finally get the album, y'all. We finally get the album, and my first listen, and I'm honest on current R&B bangers, and we're honest on the R&B reps, and I'm be honest, it didn't wow me. I wasn't wowed. I was like, okay, like I wanted to be wowed. Like I wasn't saying it was a bad album, not at all, cause it's not a bad album at all. But I wasn't wowed. I was like, it was like, okay, like give me something where I'm like, it's like another leave the door open where I can be like, that joint hit me in the chest. But I was like, okay, it's cool. But like we say on R&B Reps, we do not give an album review like a hour after it comes out, like, oh, this is a classic, it's the best thing. No, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to live with album. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to it and keep listening to it. And then I was listening to it in my car. And when I listened to it in my car, I was like, okay, I'm getting that extra knock that I wasn't getting when I was listening to it at home. So then it was like, okay. And then after a while, I started listening to it. I was like, yo, this is a good album. It's a good album. Is it like, oh my God, the best thing since sliced bread? For the masses, it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy about that. But for me, it was like, okay, it's a good album. You know what I mean? Because it got people talking about R&B again. So it's a couple of joints that I liked off the rip. It didn't wow me, but I liked it. I was like, okay, this Blast Off, Fly Like Me. I love Bruno's verse, and not verse, his hook when he comes in. So I really enjoyed that. But the one that really, really got me was After Last Night. Like, that is kind of like the Leave the Door Open Part 2 to me. You know what I'm saying? They kind of like Teddy P. We leaving the door open. That's like, close the door. Like, he's letting you know, like, yo, they like, come on in. And then now, After Last Night, it's kind of like, you know, they sitting there in the morning, just having that conversation. I think it's just so dope, and it was a dope record. So I was like, out of all of them, I said, I'm going to talk about the joint After Last Night. This joint is the one. I want this joint to be a single. Now I can't stop playing it. I think it's a dope joint. So here's the first joint of current R&B bangers coming from Silk Sonic, and here is About Last Night. Here we go.
What'd you do? After last night, I think I'm in love with you.
I think I'm in love.
Hey!
Woke up and I can't get you out of my head.
I tried.
Woo!
After last night, I don't know
What to do?
Tell me.
Ah!
I'm gonna see
You again. Da-da. Like the instrumentation is dope, and then to have Bootsy on it, like it is a fly joint. And shout out to Thundercat who's on it. Like the record is a dope record. Now I know I just gave y'all like my review on it. I'm not saying that the Silk Sonic, Evening with Silk Sonic, is a bad album, because it's not. It's a good album. I think as a music head, I was looking for something, and I felt like I was disappointed in it. Not saying it is a bad album again. I would definitely recommend y'all go listen to it, because what I'm liking right now, what I'm seeing on social media, is people are starting to compare it and starting to talk about our legends. Like they're talking about Bootsy. People are going to look at what they did. You know, they're going to look at things with Parliament Funkadelic. They're going to look at the Spinners. They're going to look at Main Ingredient. They're going to look at all these R&B artists that nobody really, like, this generation don't really give respect to. So when you're seeing these names come up on my timeline for these young kids, it's like, oh, so it's just showing you, yeah, y'all, like, these up top people, R&B can sell, y'all. Stop with the foolery. You know what I mean? But I still recommend you guys go listen to An Evening with Silk Sonic. the musicianship is amazing. It's dope. You know what I mean? And I think you would definitely enjoy it. But let me know what you feel in the comments. But I just had to give my honest opinion. I'm gonna be honest, and that's just what it is. So the first joint of current R&B bangers is coming from Silk Sonic, and that is about After Last Night. I always say about last night, but After Last Night. Okay, all right. Let's keep this going. Here we go.
No, if it isn't love, why I keep coming back? I keep coming back.
Back on, and if it isn't love, why I keep coming back? Hey, can't keep coming back, and I back home. Come on, Summer. Oh, I thought she was about to come in.
So hard to leave.
I figured she was. I figured she was about to come in. All right, well, obviously this joint, we're going to be talking about Summer Walker in this one. Summer Walker is kind of one of the new girls that's the front runners when it comes to R&B these days. When you talk about R&B, you're going to talk about her, you're going to talk about SZA, you're going to talk about Ari Lennox, you're going to talk about Summer Walker. These are the front girls when it comes to R&B. Now, I got into her from her last, what was it? The Last Day of Summer album. I like how she do that with the summer, like that's dope. But I got into her from that, like her joint, what was it? Prayed Up and Karma and Shame and Deep, like them joints. Like I was like, okay, this girl is dope. And then I saw a couple of her YouTube videos where she's singing, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, so this is the new girl that's on the block, you know what I'm saying? But then in 2019, she came with her album Over It, and that's the joint will come through with Usher, which I love that joint. Fun Girl, Body, what else? It's a couple of joints on there that y'all should definitely go check out, you know what I mean? But it was like, she was a new girl. She was on everything. She won the what was it? She won the Soul Train Award, you know what I'm saying? She got up there. You could tell, like, she had a little stage fright. She was a little nervous, but, you know, talking about mental health, which mental health is nothing to play with. Yo, listen, sometimes you need a day, you know what I mean? And I understand that. But it was just like these girls these days, to me, where is the A&R training? That's where not the A&R, the artist development. That's where I'm like, some of these stuff I wish they wouldn't do, but see, I'm coming from a different era. These girls are coming from when there's the internet and they get to speak their piece and say what they want to say. You know what I mean? So, you know, I was a little with it. But look, Summer Walker's all over the place. The girls like her, all this, and you knew she was pregnant. She was messing with London on the track. And then drama started happening. And you found out that he cheated on her while she was pregnant and all this kind of stuff. And so finally she did an album. And what I enjoyed about this album is called Still Over It. And what I like about it is it gives the album substance. It gives it a purpose. You know, because I feel like these days people are making albums that don't have a purpose to it. It just has songs. And it's not a body of work. Now, when me going into this new Summer Walker album, I was like, oh, she's giving us a body of work. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? So when I listened to it, I love how she started off with Cardi. And she's like, girl, don't let these girls out here, you know, tell your story. You tell your own story and make money while doing it. And you can't do nothing but respect that. You know what I mean? So Still Over It is a dope, you know, body of work in my opinion, because it has substance and it has a purpose. My joints are Constant Bullshit, Unloyal, that saxophone solo. I know the guy, I don't know his name, I'm so sorry, but I like that right there that she did with Pharrell. I like Insane. I actually like Toxic with her and what's the boy name? I'm sorry, look, I don't know these. Oh, Lil Durk. Okay, cool. I like these songs, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely recommend you guys check this out. But when I was listening to the album, I said, when I heard this song, Closure, I said, this is a hit record. Like, it's a hit record. You can feel it. Like, you can feel like this can go on the radio and do very well. You know what I'm saying? And it's a dope joint. And, I mean, come on, you can connect to it because we all want closure after we out of a relationship and maybe we don't have the closure. We don't know what went wrong. We just out of it. We just need that closure. So I was like, yo, this joint is dope. So this is the second joint coming from Summer Walker, and this joint is entitled Closure. So Here we go. All right.
Over my head like that. Why'd you do it, baby? I'm just trying to get closure. Trying to get closure from you. You know I'm a month depressed. I know
Hey,
that you best cut it off.
it got a nice little bop to it. You say nigga, you say bitch.
You say sorry, then we get
Like the joint is dope, but got like a little like knot to it, you know what I'm saying? Got a little groove, but you can really relate to these lyrics. And I was like, yo, this is a hit record. Like, yo, so Summer Walker, whoever is your label, whoever is, whatever, this needs to be a single. Like, yo, Closure is it. I recommend y'all guys, you go, check this album out. You can feel Summer Walker's soul on this record, like for real. So, I want to talk about it. Still over it, all on streaming platforms now, but Closure is the one, and that is the second joint on current R&B bangers. Alrighty, keeping this going. Oh, yes, Lord.
Don't play with my heart before we let
Things go too far. Don't play with my heart. India Shawn, my brother's girl, and I'm talking about Sin. Like, he loves her. He was the one that put me on to her. And Don't Play With My Heart is another one of my favorite songs of 2021. Like, this song, it just feels good, makes you want to move. It still has that like 70s vibe to it, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to D-Mile. Having that 70s vibe to it, you know what I'm saying? But it still got like a nice little bop that you can still move to it, you know what I mean? But D-Mile and India Shawn definitely have that chemistry, you know what I'm saying? She's up in there with that Silk Sonic thing, you know what I mean? So hopefully when they do a tour, she can open or something, just saying. But I wish we would have gotten her album by now, to be honest with you, because this song she has come out with moving on, is it? Moving on, yes, with Anderson .Paak, Don't Play With My Heart, Too Sweet, Cali Love. I've talked about all of these joints on current R&B bangers. I was like, by now we should have had her album, but y'all know when it comes to label politics and all this kind of stuff happens, and we don't get an album. I mean, look what happened to Silk Sonic. Hey grandma, hey girl. Just saying, you know what I mean? But I guess now I'm so happy that she gave us an EP to kind of hold us over till we get this new album that she's supposed to be coming out with. And she entitled it Before We Go. So again, like I said, I've talked about so many of these songs. Cali Love, Too Sweet, Don't Play With My Heart, Moving On with Anderson .Paak, which I think is a banger. That's another one of my favorites of this year. But she added 2 more joints on this album, on this EP. Album, EP, whatever, body of work it is. But when my brother hit me, he said, yo, she got 2 new joints on it. And the joint is called Superfine, which is a single out now. The video's out. I'm gonna put everything in a more info box. But and then she got this joint that I know you're gonna like. It has that old school type of vibe to it. I know you're gonna like it. And the joint is called To Change My Mind. And I was like, oh, you sure I'm gonna like it? He was like, I know you. He was like, I know you. You're gonna like it. And when I heard it, he's right. I love it. It's kind of, she ends the album with this record. It's kind of like that ballad, you know what I mean? And I like it, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, look, India Shawn y'all need to know who this girl is. She's dope. And I was like, I'm gonna continue to keep talking about her. But this joint To Change My Mind, definitely kind of an old school banger type of joint. And I was like, I'm gonna talk about it. So here is To Change My Mind. And where we going? We're gonna start it right here. Give y'all a good little thing for it.
Touch me like a melody, even if only for a while, but long enough to change my mind.
Like, it got like a little, like, it's like an old soul to it. Like, it reminds me of like some Tyrone Davis type of joint, but it got an extra bop to it. You know what I mean? Like I can see a DJ in the South that can play a Tyrone Davis record and go right into this. Like I really feel that way. You know what I'm saying? To have some newness to the crowd. You know what I mean? I just see that, and it just has that old flavor, and I love it. You know what I mean? And I think it's a dope record, y'all. D-Mile didn't do this one. Colin Monroe did this one. He produced it. And I think it's a dope song, y'all. Like, listen, check out her latest EP. It's before we go. She got all her stuff on streaming platforms. Please support India Shawn. She's dope. The girl can sing. She's just one of the girls that I feel like deserves so much more attention. And listen, I'm going to keep talking about her, so y'all going to keep getting used to her. So yes, that's the third joint. That's to change my mind. That's coming from India Shawn. Shout out to my brother again, saying he loves her. All right. Listen. Keeping this going. Here we go.
I'ma get you a little. Give me a shot. Open up and
Hey! I'm going to bring it back.
put you in for
Sweet relief. Hey! Listen, this is my boy Kevin Ross, who y'all see I've talked about on this show so many times. I'm a fan of this dude since 2016, since I heard a long song away. Once I heard that, I was like, I gotta find out who this cat is. And I've been a fan ever since. I talked about so many songs on his Awakening, his debut. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened with Motown, but I'm glad he left. Hey grandma, hey girl, and he's on his own stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I talked about every EP and album he came out with. He came out with Drive One. He came out with Audacity Part 1, which had a thing called Love and Switching Sides. Then he came with Audacity 2, which I talked about maybe about 3 or 4 songs. I talked about God is a Genius, which is a favorite of mine. Salvation, I talked about I Do and Options. Like, I talked about this album, y'all. Like, listen, check out Audacity 2. Like, crazy. I talked about Overthinking too. Yes, I forgot about that. I talked about Overthinking or Audacity Volume 2. Like, really check this dude out. He can sing. Like, he has talent. He's the one that be on Instagram doing the harmonies and the melodies and all these kind of mashups. Like, it's dope, y'all. Like, Kevin Ross is the truth, like, for real. But my boy got out a new EP, Drive 2, where the first joint he gave us was Looking for Love, which I talked about on here. You know what I mean? That's a favorite of mine for this year. And then Sweet Release that you hear in the background, I talked about that joint. But Drive 2 is so dope. Like, joints like Miscommunication, Naturally, Lady Love, like, it is dope. Kevin Ross needs to be, like, up there. Like, for real, he's young, and he can bring in that, look, up top people, like, the powers that be. I know y'all be watching this. Please put y'all money behind Kevin Ross, and I swear you will get back your return, for real. Like, we need a real singing dude representing, you know what I'm saying? But, dang, I just got sidetracked. Y'all know how, man, listen, when it comes to Kevin Ross, I'm just such a fan of him. But the one I was like, yo, I got to talk about, the joint is called Same Team, and listen, the joint is dope. Like, I don't know what more to say. Like, he never misses to me. Like, never. He has not missed since 2016. So, that's 5 years going to 6 years strong, and he has not done anything wrong for me. So, here's Same Team, and this joint is a jam. So, here we go.
I think sometimes we forget that we're both on the same team. I know sometimes I forget that we're both on the same team. I'ma hold you down. Lift me up. I'ma make you proud.
Come on.
Gonna build that trust.
Come on.
Always know we're on the same
Team.
Just know we're on the same.
I just had to do that. I know I ain't like that, but yo, You see, like the dude can sing, it still got a bop to it. You can still bop to it, but again, the dude actually has talent, y'all. Please, please, y'all. Yo, support Kevin Ross and what he's doing. If he's in a city near you, go see this dude live. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's really, really that dope, yo. And he's young and he's talented. You know what I mean? So, yo, Drive 2 is out on all streaming platforms, all his music on streaming platforms. He's a favorite over here, yo. And if you really get into his music and get into him, he'll be a favorite for you, too. So, that is the fourth joint of R&B Bangers that is coming from Kevin Ross, and that is Same Team. Alrighty, we coming down to the finish line. And here we go.
Yeah. Are you digging on me?
Yeah, I'm digging on you now, baby, yeah. If you want a little bit of my love, yeah. Wait a minute. One of my favorite voices to come out of the 2000s. I'm talking about Joss Stone. I have loved her since I heard her, the Soul Sessions album, which is in my top 25 albums of all time. I love that album. Down. The feeling of the album, so happy I have it on vinyl now. Like, I'm a fan of this girl because this girl has a blues to her. It has a grit to her that a lot of these other ones have. Like, shout out to Amy Winehouse. She's more jazzy to me. Shout out to Adele. Adele is kind of more that jazzy flavor, but something about Joss Stone, to me, she has that grit that these girls don't have. And like I said, I've been a fan of her since her Soul Sessions. Then she came out with Mind, Body, and Soul. Then she came with introducing Joss Stone, when she worked with my favorite Raphael Sadiq. Then Color Me Free. Then she came out with LP1. Then the Soul Sessions Volume 2. Then she came with Water for Your Soul, and then Mama Earth. And then she got pregnant, had some kids, was out there, doing things for the communities and things like that. And it was just like, I wanted an album. It's been like going on 5 years. And I'm like, I want an album from Joss Stone, but I know she's living her life. And to make good music, you gotta live. You know what I mean? So when I saw that she was on her Instagram saying, I got a new joint, I was like, yes, I'm happy, I'm hyped. And listen, I'm just like, yes. And when I heard literally like maybe 5 seconds of it, I said I loved it. I'm gonna talk about it on current R&B Bangers, even though I ain't hear the whole thing. But when I did, I said I love it. So here's Never Forget My Love. It has, if you love Joss Stone, if you've loved her ever since 2003, you're gonna love this record. So here is Never Forget My Love, and here we go.
Never forget my love. I'll never forget this love. I know the time has come. I gotta run the beat. Just never forget my love. I'll never forget this love.
Woo!
Never forget my love.
Come on, that instrumentation. Like, if you've loved Joss Stone since the Soul Sessions, you're gonna love this record. So I know there's an album coming. I'm so hyped for it. You know what I'm saying? When I heard it, I said this took me back to when I really fell in love with her voice. I'm so excited that she's back in it. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, like I said, there's an album coming. Please support this record. Support Joss Stone. I need to see this girl live too. You know what I'm saying? With the pandemic and all that going on, you gotta be careful out there. Y'all just be safe. But listen, Joss Stone, Never Forget My Love, the instrumentation, them horns on it, everything about it is dope, and I love the record. So that's why I had to talk about it. And that is the last one of the R&B Bangers that is coming from Joss Stone, and Never Forget My Love. Yes. Well, those are your 5 joints this week, y'all. Silk Sonic, After Last Night, Summer Walker with Closure, India Shawn with To Change My Mind, Kevin Ross with Same Team, and Joss Stone with Never Forget My Love. Like I always say, y'all, please stop with this stuff and stop making these posts about R&B being dead. It's so tired. It's so through. Like, just let it go, y'all. R&B ain't going nowhere. It's an all music. You know what I'm saying? Like, for going on 6 years, I've been proving that wrong with current R&B bangers. So please, can we stop this? Please, like, don't even make no more posts about it. Nobody needs to hear this R&B is not dead. It is not dead, and the reason why it is dead to the mainstream. Look, forget that. If you feeling some type of way, just do something to help the culture rather than just talking on social media. Ain't doing nothing about it. Hello, Grandma. But yo, speaking of that, and speaking of doing something, y'all see the shirt, the R&B representatives starring me and Elise. Like, I'm loving this, man. Like, the things we doing with it is so amazing. I'll catch that. I'll catch that minis. If you want to be a part of a catch that minis, please just DM us. You can find us on the R&B representatives on social media, R&B reps on Twitter. You can go to Junior's World of Soul. You can go to Naturally Elite, which I'll put everything in the more info box. Also check out our website, the rnbreps.com, where you can get you some merch, you can get you some buttons, you can get you some, anything that you want. You can check out our old radio show that we have, which we're getting back into, and all that good stuff. But listen, the latest one that is out right now is our interview that we did with Grap Lover, which was amazing. We sat and talked to him about the impact of British soul, and we talked about the album Zagora from Loose Ends. Like, it is so dope, man. Like, we really got in deep. You really gonna enjoy it, you know what I mean? But like, I hate to keep y'all so long, but it was so many dope joints this week. Plus, I had to give y'all a little bit about the R&B reps, man. Come on, man. Like, support what we doing. We don't want to be like anybody else. We are ourselves. We do what we do, and we just want to show the history of R&B, have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Be dramatic with it. You know what I'm saying? You learn something. And yeah, so that's what the R&B representatives is about. But like I said, I done kept y'all here too long. So I came in with Stephanie Mills talking about the Verzuz with her and Chaka. I said, why not leave with Chaka? And I'm going to leave with this classic that I know that Chaka will definitely play. And I will see y'all next week. To me, do you love what you feel? Hey, hey, I love what you do to me. I'm out, y'all. Peace.